Hi, this is 2016, and this is the Steel Division Normandy 44 Battlegroup Guide for the 6th Airborn Red Devil. So this is a battle group, which is an airborne battle group, but it's pretty well equipped actually when you look at it, and the infantry in this is just insanely powerful. It's like really good stuff. So let's explain my choice here. You have a good amount of diversity in terms of recons, but in my case I decided to go with the AB Scouts, which have a good amount of experience. They also have some anti-tank capacity and have a machine gun, so that's useful, and they have a troop transport, which in this case, no, actually that's not the one. Yeah, okay, they have a Willis, so that's not bad. Here you could go actually with this. It has some anti-tank here, carrier Ricky, but I decided to rule that out because it's just not strong enough. So two group of recons, and since they are five, these guys are actually okay to fight against enemy infantry. Then I bring some Pathfinder, and these guys are literally, so it's like, that's regular infantry nearly. It's only missing some perhaps machine gun, but they are able to fight very well enemy infantry. Then I bring some snipers, a lot of experience here once again, and they bring a jeep with machine gun here, so that's a very strong recon force. Infantry wise, I bring some AB brand group, two of them for phase A. They only cost 25, so that's not that expensive. And 2 experience, that's a lot. And 2 machine gun here. They don't have anti-tank capacity, which is it's a bit of a shame, but at the same time that will make them way too strong. Then you make them, you bring the leader with them, so that make these troops 3 stars. So very powerful stuff. Then for phase A, still 2 AB para. That's essentially riflemen. They don't have an MG, but they have an anti-tank here. It's a bit of a short-range anti-tank though, but really good units still. An AB Viker HMG to suppress the enemy. 2-star once again, so very strong stuff. While here for phase B, you bring air landing. These guys actually have anti-tank, so a Piat, so 200 meter in range. Really powerful unit. And with this, you should be really good at clearing buildings, for example. That can be very strong. Here, for tank, you have very light tank early on, but it's not to be underestimated, because it's not because they are small that they are not good. You actually have 8 armor piercing power, which make them good enough to take out most phase A and phase B tank. So that's really powerful. Here I bring a command vehicle, the Tetrarch. That's a bit hard to say for me. Then I bring another one here, well, another group of 5. So with the command one, that gives them 1 star, let's say. And here you have also the Little John, and this is something which is, it's like 14 AP power, really powerful unit. 3 armor, but the thing is that I bring these Tetrarch because if you look here at the range, that's 1 kilometer range, so that's important. While the Little John here, it's only 800 meter, so that's a really powerful tank, but only at short range. So you still need some range, like the Tetrarch over there. Then for phase C, I bring the Challenger, which has 16 armor piercing and 7 armor. So that gives you a pretty good tank. Now, if you look at the selection of tank here, you could bring Cromwell, but personally, if you compare this with the Polish division, they don't have experience here, so that really make them inferior to the Polish version, and they only have 7 armor piercing, so it's not a particularly amazing choice of tank, in my opinion. Support wise, I bring the AB Jeep supply, so it's important to bring supplies early on. And here another Tetrarch CS. And this one, I guess that's a specialized version to suppress the enemy infantry. It has a good range though, so you can suppress the enemy with that. Then here I bring additional supplies because you never know. And here in phase C I bring Cromwell version 6. And yeah, that's good against infantry and to suppress the enemy. Here, anti-tank, I bring the AB Pack 75mm. That's a really important gun because you bring that to phase A and you have 13 armor piercing, and you have a good range also, 1.2 kilometer. This is a really powerful unit, but you only have one of them, so that's a bit problematic. And here I bring Piet, but phase 2, I think I will change that actually. I will bring the AB Piet because they have experience first of all, which means that they will likely kill more. And here AB Piet, and phase B I bring a lot of 6 PDR, and I explained that in other guides. But the 6 PDR, having them, many of them, make you able to face most enemy tank, or at least suppress or shoot them in the flank, ambush, whatever. It's good to have many of them. Finally, in phase C, I bring 17 PDR. That's mainly against King Tigers and that kind of stuff, but you need to be careful with them. So, and they don't have experience in this case. Anti-air capacity, you have these guns, but you can see that the anti-air capacity of this battle group is terrible. And I guess in this, well, also here you have Poston. These guys only have 300 rounds, and that's why you actually need that AB Jeep supply, because these guys run out of ammo super fast. And it's like they're not that great overhaul. Yeah. Good rate of fire, maybe. But I only bring 2 of them, but that's mainly because I play 10 versus 10, and usually it's like you manage. Support wise, I bring those really OP 381mm, so that's off map support artillery from ships. Now you can see here you actually have a good amount of diversity for the support, but for me so far I found that these off-map artillery, like the AOP carrier 203mm here, they provide a good support that can allow you to really stall the enemy substantially long enough that you don't need the other type of mortar. Now, of course, depends if you play a 4v4 game or less player than that, maybe switching to having those mortars or a howitzer, which have a lot of experience, by the way. That can be effective, especially since they have armor piercing in this case. But with these off-map artillery, you can really stop any kind of push. So it's good stuff. Also here, well, that's a bit, that's really up to you at that point. But since I'm playing 10 versus 10 mainly, this is a very strong air-to-ground battle group. Now you can change this to being a very strong air-to-air battle group, for example, like this. With this, you could literally take over the sky. So if you feel like it, go for it. But in my case, one thing is for sure is that the Mosquitoes are really powerful. Here we go. So here you have the Mosquito Pad Finder, which drop napalm. And this is actually really powerful because with this, you can drop right at the start napalm on the road, and that will cut the enemy path to reach a destination before you. As a result, you can send your infantry into towns and capture the position super fast without much opposition, because the enemy cannot go through napalm because they will get damaged and they might burn. And that really does stall the enemy right at the beginning. So especially in 10 versus 10, I will say this is a superbly effective unit to have. Also, you drop the napalm on anti-tank gun, Because this is a drop-off bomb which is linear, it will fall in front and behind the enemy anti-tank. If the enemy pull back his troops, they will pull back into the napalm straight. So as a result, they will burn. So this is a really effective unit that will serve you well if you use it well. Then the Mosquito over here, they are all pretty much the same. There's the C variation, which is a bit stronger. But with these planes, you're really able to bombard the enemy tank and infantry and your... Well, I will say the best thing to do is actually to bombard the enemy infantry with these. Because if most enemy German division that you'll face in multiplayer are mainly focused around tank. And as a result, they don't have that much infantry, and by bombarding the enemy infantry, you're making them really waste their time. And also they might run out of infantry, and then your paratroopers are superbly effective at taking care of tanks which are not escorted by infantry. So this is a really good unit. This is a good battle group overall. I think this is one of the battle group that is super effective. And the way I balanced it, it's really effective for 10 versus 10. For other stuff, I would not know that much, but and of course currently this is set up to be mostly air to ground, but you can change this and go with air to air capacity as you please. This is up to you. I won't take it personal if you change it. And having all those mosquito drop bombs. Also, the one thing which might be important here is the speed. It's like if you look at the speed, 600 kilometer an hour. This means that these planes can get in and get out super fast. While many other planes, it's like, for example, this Typhoon here. This Typhoon with bombs goes at 550 kilometers an hour. So the Mosquito is able to drop its bomb and get away before the enemy fighters catch up. While here you have a really fast... the Tempest is really fast, 675 kilometers an hour. So that can be a good interceptor. But the Mosquito is really good at getting in and getting out. Also, another thing which might not be used that much, and I probably will not encourage you to use that, but if you look at the machine gun here, these are really powerful cannons. So you can intercept the enemy bombers with this, and or even scare away the enemy fighter in some case, but this is certainly not a particularly good fighters because of the loadout. But in theory, this was designed as a fighter, I think. So this is a fighter, basically, that has really good bombs. But they really should use they should make a version of this, which is a fighter version. That's my opinion. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this battle group. I'll make you a video where I show how to use this. Be warned, it will have a lot of bombing in it, but I'll see you there.